Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Master of Command, a real-time war game with roguelike elements in the campaign that is set during the Frederick the Great period in Europe. We're playing the Holy Roman Empire campaign, which is a 3-act sort of series of battles that occur on 3 different strategic maps, and at the end of each act you fight the boss battles to win. We are in the midst of fighting the first boss battle, or we're about to start it in any event. We are heavily outnumbered by over 30,000 men. We have about 20,000 men, so outnumbered by about 50%. The enemy has a material sort of skill advantage over us. We'll see if our tactical brilliance can cause us to win this fight. This is the final video of this series. It was taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and see how this plays out. The artillery will deploy on this high ground. Which unit is this here? Bavarian veteran muskets. Alright, these guys will deploy here on this fence line. I don't want them to be too narrow of a front. They need some reserves. Especially since the enemy cavalry will probably charge them. Hey. Should we really be forming salient like that? I don't know. Who's all moving? I don't even know who I've issued orders to yet. Alright. You'll be reserves. You'll be reserves. On the left. You'll be reserves in the center. Okay, it's a little bit scattered, but as best I can, I think I need to try and concentrate my artillery better than I usually do. I'll do that in a sec. We really need to focus on eliminating one regiment after another. Okay. This feels like a little bit too drawn out of a position for me, frankly. There's not enough in reserve, I don't think. Alright, let's... Our artillery's already concentrating, kind of, but I don't want them concentrating on... Can they target these guns? Is everybody in range for these guns? Or focus on that. No, I don't really want those guns getting out ahead of themselves, so you guys pull back here. You can be the exception, I suppose. do we really want to focus on enemy artillery? Is that a waste? I don't know the answer to that. Oh, never mind. I'm targeting the infantry. Alright, whoa. Okay, they're gonna put their artillery... We can target the artillery when the infantry is going to march right into them, because then shells can bounce from, or round shot or whatever can bounce from one to the next. Like they'll ricochet from the field artillery into the cavalry, into the infantry, potentially. My general concern is the artillery taking a lot of punishment out on my boys. I'm already outnumbered. I can't really afford to lose a ton of men in an artillery duel. Trying to make sure we don't have too many troops overlapping each other. Lines that aren't too vulnerable to artillery, but you guys are getting hit pretty hard. Why don't you back up off the crest of the hill for now? Are they really just sitting back there while we duel away with artillery? Seems like an awful waste of ammo. Well, that field artillery unit's already blinking. They've lost a third of their strength. These guys also have almost lost a third of their strength. Concentrating artillery may work wonders, and now they're retreating. Now they're shattered. These guys all have cover for their artillery, which is not great. Everybody shoot at this gun. It's already taken some serious damage. And again, artillery is already bouncing into these cavalry here. Why is the enemy waiting? Are they still getting into position? Yeah, they are. The AI typically waits until their line is completely ready to move, which is why we've got this little artillery duel going. You can see our artillery just taking out some cavalry. We shot long and definitely hurting these Prussian cuirassiers. That artillery is now retreating, which is too bad because I really like the fact that we took out like almost half of this cavalry unit. I don't know, they haven't shattered like the other one did. They'll probably rally. Alright, let's focus on this field artillery unit here before, again, they're not... I don't think I've taken too many losses in my infantry yet from enemy artillery. My general has. Dear God, he's already lost half his strength. Alright, that artillery shattered. So 2 batteries shattered, 1 pushed off its spot and forced to retreat. They do have undeployed batteries back here, 2 of them. Alright, everybody focus on this veteran musket in the open. I'm not going to try and shoot at artillery that is well outside my range. Let's hit the infantry in the open now. Pull back a little bit so you're not so exposed. So we routed 2 enemy artillery batteries. We also routed forced 1 to retreat. And then we took half the strength out of 1 of their cavalry units. And now we're hitting their infantry as they start to come up. Here comes their line. And all its glory. I do not have enough troops up here in the center. They're going to push out these initial infantry units and then rout me. They take out the center of that artillery, I'm in trouble. Enemy's moving straight ahead. Volleys all along the line. I have no reserves on my right flank. That's trouble. Alright. Cavalry's been focused on these veteran muskets, and they are almost dead. Those cuirassiers are doomed. These are the guys I think my artillery shattered, pretty much. I can't imagine they'll be successful. Maybe they're not doomed, I don't know. They sure are giving a good account of themselves. One of the enemy generals is dead. These Prussian life guards. The right flank is in trouble. Send reserves, I don't have many. Left flank is also getting overlapped a little bit. I didn't refuse it. Okay. The center is holding for now. You guys need to shift your fire a little bit. The left flank is where the real problem is. They're clearly moving to overlap my veteran muskets here. Refuse this line here, but these guys, I mean, they are using the edge of the map to the max. Bavarian muskets, where are they? Or where were they? They shattered one of my units. I'm not sure who. Was it the unit on my far right? It did send a reserve down here. Yeah, it was. This is switching to a melee fight. My left flank's in trouble. My hope is I can shift from my right if I can crush him over there. I charge my cavalry into these grenadiers. Can they pull back and then charge again? No. Just pull back. I wanted to try and interdict the cavalry that's coming in here, but that didn't quite work. Left flank in trouble. My reserve that I plugged in. Alright, move these guys over here on this fence line. We've got one more reserve regiment over here. We're going to open up a gap in our center, but I think I've got to do it. I'll try and turn the flank. Alright, did someone die? Someone get routed? Well, we shattered some guys. My cavalry is gone, by the looks of it. Can you shatter these grenadiers with one good volley? Can you throw from here? Will you hit the target? Pretty good. Okay, so this flank is obviously becoming the critical point in the battle. Maybe we can wear them down by attrition, making them advance line by line through heavy terrain. Look at all of the shells here plowing into these boys. Where's my artillery even shooting at anymore? That cavalry back there? I guess that's a good use of the ammo. I would have preferred to charge in on a better formation than this. All the artillery is firing at these guys. There we go. That already won't rally. Okay, the infantry on the right I think is going to hold. What's left of it, I've shifted most of my troops. Can you just route these guys so they won't come back? These guys are at 100 ammo still? How? Alright. Okay. Left flank is what's left of the left flank anyway. General, I need your morale boost. Artillery, you guys fire. Whatever is left of your ammo has to fire into these guys. What is going on here? Those guys are retreating a million times. I don't know why. What's the range on this? I don't know how much ammo you guys have left. Alright, these regiments have to shift over to the left as well. It's a bloodbath. We're trying to hodgepodge this together. That's canister range? Okay. If we can fire into those guys with canister, that'd be great. If it'll have any effect at that range. I guess we'll find out here. $768 are the casualties they've inflicted. Oh, wow. Okay, I'd say yes. Alright, you guys move over here. Canister this way too, I think, for you guys. Whatever ammo you have left. Grape shot, I don't care. There's a chance we can fire on these guys without overlapping, then I say do it. Obviously I don't want my general to get killed, but it looks like the enemy morale is breaking. It's a much closer fight than I was looking for, but... Now the question is there another enemy army coming? Because if there is, we might be in some serious trouble. Especially if I have no time to regroup. Nice. We're throwing grenades on the Prussian veteran musketeers here. Got about 1,000 men who can do it. Grenades out! Then immediately a volley, and they're pretty much running. I think my troops drove their artillery off, by the looks of it. If I had troops to pursue, I would. But I think we're going to win this thing. I did not think we would. But I think that artillery and the enemy holding in place and allowing us to take out their batteries played a decisive factor in this. 600 more grenades. Got him. Alright, there's pretty much one regiment left. They can hit from all the way back here with canister? That is interesting. I like how the artillery sound changes when you switch to canister. That battery inflicted 1,000, that battery 1,300, this battery almost 1,000, and this battery 1,500. Dear Lord. That was the difference. No more grenades for you guys. The enemy's just like stuck in the river. They're not even shooting back. Got him. Victory! How many men did I lose? Here's the bigger question. How many regiments were shattered so they have to be replaced with green troops if we have to fight another battle? Whoa, we got the Geschendverstück batteries, which are nice. Alright, so we're gonna, I think, have to fight another battle. We lost about 8,000 men, so I'm gonna go with the conscript route. We lost one general. No units were permanently routed? Several were promoted? I will take that. Gonna need to go buy some more ammo. Another enemy army. Although the enemy headquarters has fallen, their resolve is not. A fresh host marches into the region. So I have 13 days until 23,000 more troops. Only 23,000. So that first army was actually harder. I wonder if the game reasons like, hey, you're going to be exhausted from that last battle. They could just be better troops, too. We'll see. Alright. Gotta buy more ammo. There's no ammo here to be bought. Actually, did we replace all of our ammo? No, we didn't. Nonsense. Do I get ammo while I march? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why that would be. Alright, let's sell the stuff that has no value, like that I can't use, first off. Okay. Did I lose an officer? Yes. Sure. We'll just go with the most experienced replacement. I don't really need the replacements. I don't really need the food. What about the equipment? The problem with these guys is they consume a lot of ammo. 34 ammo consumption, 28 shot damage. There's actually more shot damage on the howitzer. They're better with canister, but I don't think... I mean, they're more accurate. And the range is better. $25 to $28. But, like, is it worth the extra? Same range, same inferior accuracy to the bronze. The Geschenfstück 6-pounder does not seem like a better gun. At least for my use. Maybe better than the iron. The iron gun slightly, but the ammo consumption is so much higher. I guess the reload speed is better. $15.6. That might actually be better. The cover bonus might make it worth it. Okay. I don't use open order accuracy. Yeah. So... like, I think the coffee ration... maybe accuracy and reloader. Eight and 2. I don't know. I don't know what I've been told. Like, what's the best mix here? Alright, what about our ammo chests? Are they all good? Excellent. Good. Basic. Nope. Gonna get rid of that. And basic. Yep. We'll buy better ones. To get large grenade packs. Better grenades for my grenadiers. Alright, let's go ahead and equip these guys with their... Okay, not all of my grenadiers also have grenades. Okay. Not enough dollars. Alright. I'm not gonna use the quartered ball. Not gonna use the carbines. So that'll give me enough to equip that other unit with the extra ammo that they lack. Where was it? These guys? No. Who didn't have the ammo pack? Was it these guys? No, but they didn't. They don't have the ammo pack, so I guess I can equip them. All right. That probably does it here. Need to buy more ammo, but there's no ammo here to be bought. Let's try to go for Goethe, because it's the only other place to go. I really hope they don't get bigger. Where is this other headquarters army? Are they not, oh wait, are they not on the map yet? Oh, I think I just get some ammo for marching around, which is really good because apparently I'm still short considerably, especially in the artillery. Where can I get more ammo? Is this the headquarters army? Yeah. 23. I don't want to march toward them, but I don't think any of these towns have the ammo I need. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to use this Palatine unit, but I can do this. Drain them of their ammo. And then give that back to my boys. But I'm still short. Ugh. Do they have ammo here still, maybe? If I cross country to Schleiz? The headquarters is after me. God damn it. I don't. This is gonna be a problem. Buy a general? What am I gonna do with a general? They're gonna beat me to any other town I could conceivably get to. I don't love going into this with no... Nope. Well, this is bad. This is real bad. The lack of ammo is going to be a problem. Maybe my supply wagon, if it's replenished, can cover, but I'm... Fuck. You can't outmarch a headquarters, that's the problem. So what's their breakup? They've got 4 artillery units, 5 artillery units, 6, 7, 8 artillery units. Dear God. Roughly equal numbers. They are very heavy on cavalry. Well, maybe not, actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cavalry units. They don't have many grenadier units proportionally. I guess we'll see if we can win this thing with very limited ammo. The lack of ammo is a problem. Let's see what the terrain looks like. A lot of fields, a little bit of high ground. A lot of open terrain. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Place the artillery up on this hill. 100, 100, 190. Did they suck the ammo out of the supply wagon already? Yeah. Alright, so the supply wagon's already drained. Which I guess it saves us in the fact that we have supply, but it also kind of kills us in the fact that, you know, we don't have the ability to extend our artillery's fighting potential like we did in the last fight. Okay. All right. We're going to use these hedges as cover because they do provide decent cover, and we're going to kind of form a salient up here. Across the wood line and then the high ground. I don't think the enemy is going to swing as wide as they did last time. My goal is to have some reserves all along the lines, so we're not too spread out. I think I'm going to order these guys to hold their fire for the time being, just because I don't want to waste ammo with the artillery here. I don't like that we're kind of forming a salient, but... Alright, so the artillery can at least unlimber. We've already done that. Alright. Cavalry, you'll form up on the left, I think, to guard that flank, because they probably will extend over here. Let's actually extend off the line. Put the cavalry back here. What's the range of this artillery here? Shoot at those guns, it'll bounce into the guns behind him and then the cavalry behind that. Wow. Those first few volleys took out a big chunk of that Prussian life carbiners. First enemy guns are opening up on us. Numbers-wise, we should have about equal to them. Doesn't feel like it looking at their host, though. So you can see these shells are ricocheting back into the units behind him. They already took out a good chunk of this Penevari life carbiners. This one as well. And about a third of this artillery battery. They really like to shoot long. Seems to be doing more damage to the horse behind the guns. And I know the shells ricochet, but... There's also a general in that unit, so it could impact the overall effectiveness of everybody if we can take him out. Look at these shells ricocheting back here. I don't know if they're still lethal back here. They've done some damage. 6 casualties. Their artillery is focusing on my Saxon veterans. Alright, we're shifting fire. They're apparently rotating their troops, not sure why. Maybe to fill the gap of that artillery which was driven off. So we did drive off one of their artillery batteries. I'm going to try and focus as much of my... We should actually make sure our line is in good order. I think so. 2 lines of troops. Yeah, okay. Reserves in the center and right. Mostly in the center. Trying to even the odds a bit with that. That lead artillery unit, I think, is absorbing most of the enemy fire. Don't know if I really want to be... But most of their artillery is out of my range, which is tricky. I wonder if we'd be better off shooting at these guys. I don't know. One less volley regiment on the line seems tempting. The flip side of that is cavalry tends to be pretty devastating, so... And the enemy's not really waiting, as I understand it. They usually don't just sit and let you bombard. Although I don't see a lot of... There are some troops moving, so I guess we're paused until they shift this cavalry right. Of course, the not great news is my ammo is almost half used up. And we haven't even gotten them in close yet. A number of the enemy guns are holding their fire. What outposts? Oh, that was from the... during the strategy map. Gotcha. Alright, they're moving. They've shortened their lines, and here they come. Well, we took out one artillery battery. And we've taken out half of a veteran musket regiment. What is this cavalry doing on the flank? They're trying to go around my lines? There's so few of them, I don't know what they hope to accomplish. I'm waiting. How is this veteran musket regiment not routing? Shift your fire, boys. It'll take one volley and run. They're already blinking. So these guns should probably pull back out of the front lines. They took 75 casualties. Yikes. Are they really in behind me? Where are they going? No. Alright, my general's gonna stay here. You need to stay here and hold your men in line. My 1,000 cavalry is gonna charge 200 enemy. They're gonna try and charge me from the rear. Okay, well, just turn. Yeah, that enemy didn't last long. Valiant and smart if you actually had more than 100 men. Enemy cavalry's charging into our lines. Hopefully we can withstand it. Or no, those are veteran muskets, not cavalry. Never mind. Alright, we drove back another infantry regiment, so 2 of the front regiments attacking our center have been driven back. Whoa. I don't know if all the artillery fired on the one regiment, but they sure as fuck shattered them. Alright, we drove back that veteran musket regiment here, so the center attacks have largely failed so far. The flank attack, we'll see. So much smoke. Yeah, they're all pretty much firing on this regiment here to try and break their center for good. That unit was routed and shattered. Wow. Man, they run like gazelles. Alright, focus on their cavalry now. The infantry is in trouble. What could still hurt us is their cavalry, so if they're going to sit out here in the open, we're going to hit them with artillery. I'm going to do a Cornwallis and fire some grenades into my own men. It hurt their morale, though. It didn't really hurt mine, which is ironic. Alright, we'll charge 1,000 reinforcements in. I don't do a lot of charging, but that should drive them back. Can you just shoot these guys? I think one more volley might rout them. Not quite. Alright, we'll pull back up the hill. Hey guys, I bet you pulled back and refused your flank. I left your flank in the air. That's my bad. Alright, we're gonna advance our right a little bit. Artillery, what of you have? You still have ammo left for it looks like. So focus on these guys. There's only 200 horsemen left. Once you get an enemy unit degraded enough, their charge when they're going to be going into, you know, 3 times their number becomes vastly less effective. Also, cavalry doesn't like to get volleyed. We just routed those guys. Can you throw grenades behind their lines and then go in and charge again? I'll keep doing it. If it pays off, I'll keep doing it. Alright, they're routed. That cavalry is going to ride right into our position, so go ahead and hit them while you can. They've got... These cuirassiers are coming forward. Once those cavalry are gone, I think I'll be good to push forward on their center with my cavalry. This one feels a lot more comfortable. Despite the ammunition issues at the start of the fight. Their cover is kind of shattering my flank a bit, but it's okay. They don't have enough. They don't have enough strength, I don't think, to push it back. So let's take my horsemen, who have done very little, and I want them to go push forward on these guns. There we go. Drove them back. Could you get a volley off and shatter these guys so they can't rally? Actually, I don't think they can even... I think they got to get to the red hourglass, and their morale is already permanently below that amount. Alright, hussars, do your thing. You mostly just sat back there and took punishment. Ooh, you guys got 4 grenades. Yeah, I upgraded you guys. I never even bothered to do anything with you. Look at all of these artillery batteries I need to route. Are these guys not even unlimbered? That's strange. I wonder if that's a bug. Maybe they can only have so many units engaged and they keep units in reserve until... I'm not sure. Like some kind of unit cap where they're on the map, but they can only come in as reserves. That would be like something like Total War would do, I feel like. Yeah, they're definitely coming into action now, so... It's certainly possible that was the case. Goodbye, artillery. Good job, hussars. Got him. Back and forth we go. Back and forth we go. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill, kill, kill. I don't know. I just made this song up. Alright, the enemy morale is just at about the breaking point. Like 3 more regiments to go. No, you're supposed to be charging the cavalry, not the infantry. Or the artillery, not the infantry. Alright, just go ahead and pursue as you see fit. I don't need you anymore. Alright, let's just melee these guys. Nice, they got their grenades off before the enemy meleeed them. And they triggered the enemy to retreat. Pursue the bastards. Alright, just the one regiment left. We're gonna win! We're gonna win on hardcore! Or Iron Man or whatever. Do. Victory. 2,000 gold. A bunch of stuff, including a gold-plated Liechtenstein cannon. Man, we didn't even lose that bad. We lost 2,000 fewer men than the previous battle. Again, they had 6,000 fewer men. But we wrecked them. Killed 14,000 men. Captured 7,000. Give me the veterancy. We did lose von Wolf. He had the supply wagon. So that's unfortunate. Victorious! Voltaire's nightmare. Win the campaign is the Holy Roman Empire. Glorious. Glory to the Holy Roman Empire. New auxiliary corps unlocked. Voltaire's nightmare. It's a new army, I think. Glory to the Holy Roman Empire. The war concluded in Thungaria, where the kingdom of Prussia was cast down in the decisive struggle in the Battle of Schleiz. So you could do endless mode, which I think would just keep the campaign going. I'm not in the mood to do that. You'd get like another act in the campaign, I assume. We will end the campaign there. 462 days survived. 48,000 gold earned. 5 modifiers. 188,447 casualties inflicted against 87,567 taken. We fought 28 battles and did not lose a one. Take that, Napoleon. Biggest battle was the Battle of Coburg, which I think was the previous battle against their headquarters, with 18,000 casualties. Maybe that's why that number is there. Most men in a battle, 51,500. Our regiments, the highest killed are Saxon veteran artillery with 15,725 casualties. They also are our most valued. I don't know how that's calculated. The most casualties were suffered by our Imperial Hussars with 8,800. Highest morale is the Prince George Grenadiers with 97. That's absurd. Highest melee, Palatine Grenadiers of 80. Württemberger Grenadiers have an 86 charge skill. Fastest reload is the Imperial Field Artillery with a 70. And the highest accuracy is the Saxon Veteran Artillery with an accuracy of 107. Officers. Unfortunately, we're not... I think eventually the plan is to, like, also capture the officers you had who died, because we had some previous officers, not just these 4, who were killed, so we don't get to see their stats. Von Kosel, for example, only fought in that last battle. None of our officers here at the end were there at the beginning. The oldest officer, von Haxelden, fought in 14 battles, inflicted 30,000 casualties, only lost 650 men. I'm assuming he was commanding the artillery, maybe. But he survived half of our battles. Nobody survived all 28. Von Ramboli, 4,900 casualties inflicted against 2,100 taken in 2 battles. And von Unruh, 21,000 against 10,000 and only 7 battles. So again, the casualty ratio for our officers was absurd. But a victory there for us as we finish off the Holy Roman Empire campaign. If we were to do a new campaign, you could see here, if we went to the Holy Roman Empire, we now have the Voltaire's Nightmare Auxiliary Corps option open, so you could do that. You can see the difficulty is much higher. Alongside the crest forces, the princes of the empire raise additional auxiliary forces drawn from whatever men and units remain outside the imperial allotments. This improvised corps varies widely in training and equipment as they march from city to city. Local authorities contribute detachments to swell their ranks. Through traditional recruitment remains limited. What these formations lack in uniformity, they make up for in adaptability, gathering strength wherever the empire can spare it. So you can see there's different starting forces. We also unlocked the Saxon army by conquering the first region. I do like their pretty little green uniforms. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for today. I haven't looked at the mods. I think that's going to do it for today's look at Master of Command. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. Thanks again for coming out. And we'll see what we do next time. But that's going to be it for now. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying, once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.